Hi, my name is Magnar Nordahl, and this is my final update about my new job. If you have seen my previous videos, you know that I am from Norway and I am resident in Thailand, in Bangkok. And I haven't flown for 7 months. And I was very excited when I got the message I have received a new job. And 11 days ago, I started on a journey that had taken me to 6 countries in 4 different continents. I am now in a quarantine hotel at my final destination, and before I tell you where I am, I will talk a bit about traveling to different countries. It's not very easy because of the COVID-19 crisis. Of course, you need a COVID test showing you are not positive, and this is called a PCR test. And I have taken 3 tests so far, and there will be a number 4 when I finish this quarantine here. So taking a COVID test, that is pretty easy because it's easy to find information. But every country you travel to, they have the specific travel procedures and registration procedures. And it's not easy to know where to find that information. So you have to search for a while. The airline companies should provide this information, and I also got help from my new employer. But still, I got a couple of surprises on the way. And first surprise was when I checked in Bangkok and discovered it's not enough to have a Norwegian passport. I also need to register with what they called ESTA, Electronic Travel Approval. And you can do it online, which I did at the airport at the check-in, and it sorted out very well. I traveled with Emirates to Dubai in a Boeing 777. This was a night flight, it was full, and that made it very hard to sleep. You're sitting like this in economy, it's not always good. But to my delight, on the next flight it was an Airbus 380 and it was almost empty. There were a few passengers, maybe 20-25% capacity, and I had an old seat row for myself so I can lay down, have a nap and relax. And also Emirates provide very good service. They even gave me a map with toiletry, which is quite impressive when you're traveling on economy class. So the Airbus 380 is the passengers aircraft. It's a wonderful way to travel, and also the service was great. Arriving in New York through immigration, and I went to New York for the COVID-19 vaccine, and I get the single shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and I planned for a few days extra just in case I got fever or other complications after vaccine, which I didn't, just a light headache the first day. So I had time to go and see Intrepid Sea, Air and Space Museum. I made some videos there and I will share with you later on, because this museum has some very, very interesting airplanes. They have the space shuttle, they have the Concorde, they have one of the Blackbirds, the A-12. Yeah, that's just some of it. And I also had time to see the views over the city. I got a new COVID test. This time I found a place to do it for free at the airport, otherwise you would pay over $200 at a private clinic. But I just took the train to the airport, took the test the day before I left. That was easy. My next trip was to Toulouse via Madrid. I traveled with Iberia on an Airbus 330. And even you travel transit through Spain, you have to fill a form, you get a document with a QR code. And during check-in, somebody started to shout, "You must have the QR code at check-in, blah, blah, blah." And I was wondering, what is that? And then I looked through, oh, I have a QR code on this document. Okay, so I asked another passenger, is this the correct one? Yes. Okay, I was good. Landed in Madrid, I get some hours there, and then I fly Air Nostrum in a CRJ 1000 to Toulouse. That's a 45 minutes jump. And entering France, I had to download a document, check off I'm not sick or have any symptoms of COVID, and sign it. And then I was finally in France. And when you enter France, you have to go in quarantine. That's mandatory, except that ATR, together with Airbus, they have what they call a safe corridor. So you stay at a special hotel, and you can only stay in a specific rooms at the training center, and they have special procedure for cleaning the simulators before and after you're there. This worked very well. And I always like to go to Toulouse because there is always something new to learn. ATR is always improving the procedures, and I got some very good and important input. I will make some videos about it because I think it's important you know about these changes. And I also got a glimpse about the future. They are planning the 600 Standard 4, which will have some improvements, and it sounds very exciting. So there might be some videos about that too. Okay, after the training, there was a new COVID test. That was number 3. And that is this one, still on the good side. And I was good to go to my final destination. That will be 3 sectors. The first 2 with Air France, with an Airbus 320 to Paris Charles de Gaulle. And then I will travel with Air France again to London Heathrow. From there I will catch the last flight to the secret destination. I will soon tell you where I went. Okay, at Charles de Gaulle, a problem occurred. Again, you have to register online on a portal to United Kingdom, even if you travel in transit. But I met the wrong security officer, which denied me boarding. There were 2 security officers. One said, I have the correct documentation. The other said, no. I made a video about it. And while they discussed, they closed the gate. So there I was. And there was nothing I could do about it, because if they couldn't agree, I was not allowed to go. I found my way to the ticket office of Air France, and they booked me for the next morning, afternoon, to be correct. And thankfully, Charles de Gaulle Airport has many airport hotels. It's just a short ride with a free train, which goes between the terminals and the parking areas. And so I picked one of the hotels and stayed there overnight. It was very comfortable and not too expensive to be at an airport. I paid about 100 euros. That is not bad to be at an airport hotel. Okay, the next day I made sure I got early to the gate, and they did a pre-checks of the documents. Everything okay. I got this sticker which tells me I was checked, I was okay. So finally I could go to London Heathrow, and I spent a few hours there and waiting for my final flight. And that was with Virgin Atlantic and Airbus 330. And it took me to Lagos in Nigeria. My new employer is Green Africa. It's a new company. They have 3 ATR 72-600. They plan to buy another 10 or 12 aircraft. They have also a future order for Airbus 220s. So hopefully we will see a lot of new aircraft in the future here. Then some words about getting a work permit in Nigeria. That is can be difficult because the company has to prove for the authorities here in Nigeria that they need people with the skill set and knowledge and experience not available in Nigeria. Like many other countries, they will give priority to people of their own nationality. That's very normal. So they got permission from the government. They send documents to me. I go to the embassy in Bangkok. And it takes 3 to 5 working days to process a visa application, which is really good. And when you apply for visa to Nigeria, you use an online portal connected to the government in Nigeria. And then you pay with a credit card for the visa fee. It's $24. But for some reason, my credit card was not accepted. More about that later. But I also had to pay a processing fee to the embassy. That was also bank to bank, but I have a bank account in Thailand, so no problem to pay a local transfer. And when I come back to the embassy, I told them I was not able to pay through the portal to Nigeria, and they helped me with that through an agent. And there was an interview, and then the officer had to sign 4 copies of a bunch of documents, and I bring with me 3 of those copies for the immigration here, for later use for my work permit. So it's very bureaucratic, but Nigeria is not the worst. I heard of more complicated procedures. So to be fair, this was not too bad. And I got my visa and set off for Lagos. But during boarding to Lagos from London Heathrow, I had to file another form online. I had it printed from France. It's called a permit to travel. And since my flight was revised and delayed 1 day, I had to file it again. And I met the same problem with payment. And to make matters more difficult, with this portal to pay for the fee for registration for this document, I had to give them a cell phone number in Nigeria, because they will transmit an OTP, one-time password, to me while I was paying. But I don't have a Nigerian phone number. So human resources, the manager of human resources here in Green Africa, she was on the phone, and I registered my payment data, and OTP was triggered, sent to her phone. She sent it to me, I put it in the form, and then it was denied. I tried again, still it was not approved. Then she sent her personal credit card information to me. I entered this, new OTP, a new denial of payment. And now the time was running out, because they were closing the gate and the aircraft was ready to go. So I just had to rush into the aircraft. So when I landed here in Nigeria this morning, I had not got the approval for the payment. And without that, you're not allowed to enter Nigeria. So before coming to the immigration, I tried again. Thankfully, the airport has Wi-Fi, and it worked very well. And also the manager of human resources were already awake. This was before sunrise, so it's quite early. We landed about 5 in the morning. And we tried again. She helped me with the OTP, but again, it didn't go through. Then she suggested me to send a link for the payment portal to her. And I did, and then it worked. So I received the final receipt, and it said paid. Then I could enter Nigeria. And when you're talking about Nigeria, you might think about scammers who send you funny letters about, oh, you get a lot of money for free, but then you have to pay money to open an account or pay a fee or something. But those scammers are not what you will see much of here in Nigeria. Because the scammers, they are just a small minority of people. The general population here in Nigeria are very different people. They are very open-minded, they are very generous, and it started already on the flight. I met some wonderful people on the flight to Lagos, and it continued at the airport with even better service. The first was the immigration officer. He greeted me, said welcome to Nigeria, took me to an office, did the registration, and it went very smooth. And his other colleagues were also joking around. And imagine that, 5 o'clock in the morning. That was amazing. But it didn't stop there. He took me to the baggage hall to help me locate my bags. For some reason, my bags didn't arrive. So we had to go to the baggage agent and fill forms and explain how the bags are. And every time I travel, I have pictures of my bags. So I can give a good description because I have some marks on the bags, some stickers, etc. So it's easy to recognize them. So this immigration officer helped me through this as well before he had to leave. And that's quite amazing. So all the paperwork done about the bags, I went out, I got in contact with the driver through social media, and he told me he could not drive to the terminal building because there's a lot of construction work going on there just now. So no cars can approach the terminal on the arrival side. Therefore, he told me he was at the car park, and I have no idea where it was because I saw just a big construction site. Then a man approached and he asked me if I needed some assistance, and I asked him, where is the car park? I'm going to meet the driver there. And said, I follow you. Wow, that's great. So he walked me all the way through the construction site to the car park, and to help me stay in contact with the driver, he put on the Wi-Fi from his phone so I can call the driver until I met him. That's really great. Welcome to Nigeria. And then he vanished. So the driver took me to this hotel, which is quite new, and I would say very good standard. They have a restaurant here with room service, so I will not have any problem staying here for a week. And then the manager for human resources of Green Africa, she bought me some clothes just to help me through the next hours. So I'm very grateful for the reception I received here in Nigeria. I'm looking forward to get through the process to start flying. That means I will have to convert my license to Nigerian to get a medical check. I have to go do company training, set up my accounts here. And hopefully, in the near future, I can start flying. Thank you for watching, and until the next update, I wish you a wonderful day and a happy landing.